It was the dead of winter, and I was shivering despite cranking up the thermostat. The heating bills were skyrocketing, yet my house was still chilly. It felt like no matter what I did, the warmth just slipped away, and I was left uncomfortable and frustrated. But what if I told you there's a way to keep your home warm without the high costs, and in a way that feels naturally cozy? That's when I stumbled upon an unlikely source of inspiration: the Amish wood stove heating method. Their approach not only changed how I heat my home, but it transformed my winters entirely. I had always thought that modern heating systems were the only solution to staying warm in winter, but one day I came across a community that seemed untouched by modern tech, yet they managed to keep their homes warm and comfortable. I'm talking about the Amish. Their approach was simple, efficient, and surprisingly, used only a wood stove. No electricity, no complex gadgets, just smart design and a method that's been perfected over generations. I was skeptical at first, but the idea of a more natural, cost-effective heating solution was too intriguing to ignore. I started to dig deeper, and what I discovered was incredible. Let me take you back to those cold winter nights when no matter how high the thermostat was set, the warmth just didn't seem to fill the house. I remember sitting there, wrapped in layers of sweaters and blankets, watching the heating bills climb higher every month. The furnace hummed constantly, but the chill still seeped through every corner. It was frustrating and felt like a losing battle against the cold. I wasn't just battling the temperature, I was wrestling with the inefficiency of traditional heating methods. The fireplace, while cozy, only warmed a small area. Space heaters consumed a lot of electricity, but barely made a dent in heating the room. Despite all these efforts, the house remained uncomfortably cold, and I was left wondering if there was a better way. I started thinking about how our ancestors kept warm before modern heaters and high energy bills. How did they manage to create warm, inviting homes during harsh winters without the technology we rely on today? It wasn't just about saving money, it was about finding an efficient, sustainable solution that connected back to simpler, more effective practices. I realized I wasn't alone in this struggle. Many of us faced the same issues every winter: soaring heating costs, inefficient systems, and homes that never quite feel cozy enough. The problem wasn't just personal, it was something that affected countless others seeking warmth and comfort without sacrificing their savings or values. That's when I began exploring alternative methods, searching for a solution that was both time-tested and practical for modern living. Everything changed one afternoon when I decided to take a drive through the countryside to clear my mind. As I wandered, I stumbled upon a small Amish community hosting an open market. Curiosity drew me in, and I was immediately captivated by the simplicity and warmth that seemed to envelop the place. I struck up a conversation with an Amish gentleman named Samuel, who was tending to a stall filled with handcrafted woodwork. The chill in the air was biting, but Samuel seemed unfazed, his face glowing with a contentment that I hadn't felt in months. "How do you keep warm in these harsh winters without modern heating systems?" I asked, genuinely puzzled. He smiled gently and said, "We rely on our wood stoves. They've kept our homes warm for generations." That simple reply hit me like a bolt of lightning. Here I was, grappling with high heating bills and a cold home, while the Amish thrived in comfort using methods passed down through the ages. Samuel went on to describe how the wood stove is the heart of their home, a source of heat, a place for the family to gather, and even a means to cook food and heat water. He spoke of the efficiency of using dry, seasoned wood, the strategic placement of the stove for optimal heat circulation, and the use of simple tools like heat-powered fans to spread warmth. In that moment, I realized that the solution to my problem wasn't in high-tech gadgets or expensive heating systems. It was in embracing the simplicity and wisdom of a traditional method that had stood the test of time. I left the market that day filled with a newfound hope and a burning curiosity to learn more about the Amish way of heating with a wood stove. It was the turning point that set me on a path to transform my own home into a haven of warmth and comfort. So, inspired by my encounter with Samuel and eager to bring that warmth into my own home, I embarked on a journey to adopt the Amish methods of heating with a wood stove. It wasn't just about installing a stove, it was about embracing a whole new approach to home heating. First, I started researching the best wood stoves available, looking for one that combined efficiency with simplicity. I learned that a good wood stove is the heart of the home, just like Samuel said. After careful consideration, I chose a stove that was well suited to my home size and needs. Next, I focused on stove placement. I discovered that positioning the stove centrally on the first floor would allow the heat to naturally rise and spread throughout the house. This strategic placement was key to maximizing the stove's efficiency. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. I faced challenges along the way. Preparing for a wood burning system required more effort than I anticipated. I had to ensure proper ventilation and comply with safety regulations. There were moments when I felt overwhelmed by the logistics. However, I didn't let these hurdles stop me. I consulted with professionals and did thorough research to make sure everything was set up correctly. I also learned the importance of using dry, seasoned wood to achieve optimal heat output and minimize smoke. This meant planning ahead and sourcing quality firewood. As I began using the wood stove, I noticed the difference immediately. The warmth was unparalleled, cozy and consistent. I started experimenting with heat-powered fans placed atop the stove, just like the Amish do, to circulate the warm air more effectively. These simple devices required no electricity and made a significant impact on distributing heat throughout the rooms. I also adopted the Amish practice of adding a kettle of water on top of the stove to act as a natural humidifier. This gentle release of steam combated the dryness of winter air, making the indoor environment more comfortable. Throughout this journey, I faced small setbacks like learning how to maintain the fire properly, adjusting to the manual labor of tending to the stove, and managing the storage of firewood. But each challenge taught me something new and brought me closer to a more self-sufficient lifestyle. The breakthrough moment came when I realized that not only was my home warmer and my heating costs lower, but I also felt a deeper connection to my living space. The process of building and tending to the fire became a cherished daily ritual. My family gathered around the stove in the evenings, and it truly became the heart of our home. Implementing these Amish methods transformed not just how we heated our home, but how we lived in it. It brought warmth, in every sense of the word, back into our household. After exploring the Amish methods and learning from their time-tested practices, I decided to fully embrace heating my home with a wood stove the Amish way. I installed a high-quality wood stove centrally located on the first floor of my home to maximize heat distribution. This placement ensures that as the stove warms up, the heat naturally rises and spreads throughout the entire house, just like in Amish homes. I started using dry, seasoned firewood, which I learned is crucial for efficient burning and producing minimal smoke. Damp or unseasoned wood not only creates excess smoke, but also reduces the heat output, making the stove less effective. By preparing and storing my firewood properly, I ensured that each log burned hotter and longer. To enhance the warmth and circulate the heat more effectively, I placed a simple, heat-powered fan on top of the wood stove. This ingenious device requires no electricity. It uses the stove's heat to operate, gently pushing warm air throughout the room and into adjacent spaces. It's a small addition that makes a significant difference in comfort. I also adopted the Amish practice of placing a kettle of water on the stove. This acts as a natural humidifier, adding much-needed moisture to the dry winter air inside the house. The gentle steam not only makes the environment more comfortable, but also helps prevent issues like dry skin and irritated sinuses that are common in heated homes during winter. Additionally, I made use of natural sunlight by opening curtains and blinds during the day to let in passive solar heat, and then closing them at night to retain that warmth. This simple habit worked seamlessly with the wood stove to keep the house cozy. By integrating these Amish-inspired techniques, I transformed my home into a warm, inviting haven without relying on expensive heating systems or high energy bills. Not only did I achieve efficient heating, but I also felt a deeper connection to a more sustainable and self-sufficient way of living. The beauty of this solution is its accessibility. You don't need to be part of the Amish community to adopt these methods. With a bit of effort and initial setup, anyone can implement these strategies to heat their home efficiently with a wood stove, enjoy consistent warmth throughout the winter, and even save money on heating costs. Now that I've embraced the Amish method of heating my home with a wood stove, I can confidently say the benefits have been life-changing. Not only has my home become a warm and welcoming space, but this experience has also brought numerous advantages that go beyond just physical comfort. First and foremost, there's the cost savings. By switching to wood heating, I significantly reduced my reliance on expensive electricity and gas. With the rising costs of traditional heating methods, I found that sourcing firewood, especially when you plan ahead, is much more economical. The investment in a quality wood stove has paid off. allowing me to enjoy lower heating bills each month. Secondly, there's the environmental impact. Wood is a renewable resource, and when sourced sustainably, it can be a much greener option compared to fossil fuels. Burning wood releases carbon dioxide, but it's important to note that this is part of a natural cycle. As trees grow, they absorb carbon dioxide, making the overall carbon footprint of wood heating much lower than that of gas or electric heating. This aligns with my values of sustainability and living in harmony with nature. Another huge benefit is the improved air quality. Unlike traditional heating systems that can circulate dust and allergens, the wood stove provides a cleaner burn when using dry, seasoned wood. The natural humidity added from the kettle on the stove also contributes to better indoor air quality. My family has noticed fewer issues with dry skin and respiratory discomfort that often accompany winter heating. Then, there's the emotional aspect. Heating my home with a wood stove has fostered a sense of togetherness and connection with my family. We gather around the stove in the evenings, sharing stories and enjoying each other's company in the warm glow of the fire. It's created a comforting atmosphere that feels like home. In a fast-paced world dominated by technology and distractions, this simple practice has brought us closer together. Finally, I've gained a sense of self-sufficiency and accomplishment. Learning how to tend to the fire, prepare the wood, and maintain the stove has empowered me. It's a rewarding experience to know that I can provide warmth for my family using skills and techniques that have been honed over generations. This journey has not only transformed my home, but also enriched my life in meaningful ways. In summary, the switch to heating my home with a wood stove using Amish practices has led to cost savings, environmental benefits, improved air quality, greater family connection, and a newfound sense of self-sufficiency. It's a holistic approach that has brought warmth, comfort, and joy back into our lives, proving that sometimes the simplest solutions are the most effective. Now that I've shared my journey of transforming my home into a warm haven using Amish-inspired wood stove heating, it's your turn to take action. If you're tired of battling the cold and high heating bills, consider embracing these time-tested methods for your own home. Here's how you can get started. Research and choose your wood stove. Begin by researching the right wood stove for your home. Consider factors like size, efficiency ratings, and whether it meets your local regulations. Don't hesitate to visit local dealers or check online reviews to find a stove that fits your needs. Source quality firewood. Look into sourcing dry, seasoned firewood. You can often find local suppliers, or if you have the space, consider starting your own firewood stockpile. Properly storing your firewood ensures that it's ready to burn efficiently when winter arrives. Learn proper stove maintenance. Take the time to learn how to maintain your stove. This includes cleaning the flue and ensuring safe ventilation. YouTube can be a great resource for tutorials, or you can check with your stove manufacturer for guidance. Implement heat circulation techniques. Explore ways to enhance heat distribution in your home. Consider adding heat-powered fans, using ceiling fans on reverse, and keeping doors open to allow warm air to flow freely throughout your spaces. Create a family ritual. Make it a family tradition to gather around the wood stove, share stories, enjoy meals, or simply relax together in its warmth. This simple practice can foster connection and create lasting memories. Stay informed. Continue learning about sustainable living practices. Incorporate other off-grid techniques into your lifestyle, like using passive solar heating or exploring natural insulation methods. Every small change contributes to a more sustainable and self-sufficient home. Finally, share your journey. If you decide to implement these practices, I'd love to hear about your experiences. Join our community by leaving comments below, sharing your tips, or even posting photos of your wood stove setup. Let's inspire one another to create warm, inviting homes and embrace a more sustainable way of living. Thank you for watching this video on how to heat your home with a wood stove using the Amish Guide. If you found value in this content, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more insights on sustainable living and off-grid practices. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. We're dedicated to sharing helpful tips and strategies that empower you to embrace a simpler, more self-sufficient lifestyle. If you have any questions or want to share your experiences with wood stove heating, please drop a comment below. I love hearing from you and believe we can learn so much from each other's journeys. And remember, warmth isn't just about the temperature in your home. It's about the connections we build and the lives we enrich along the way. Until next time, stay warm, stay inspired, and keep seeking the wisdom of simpler living. Take care and see you in the next video.